Hi guys, this is a video response to Derek's first thread. His question was something that you learned from music, and just getting some really good responses there, and I thought that I would chip in with my little story. So my story is about a song out of this album. The album is Talking Heads, Remain in Light. I have the vinyl back home. I bought this because it has the DVD with the surround sound system, surround sound 5.1. And you know, if there is one band's music that's really worth being heard in surround sound, it's probably the Talking Heads, because there's so much going on there. I don't have a surround sound though, unfortunately. But yeah, one day I will pop it in surround sound system and I will see what comes out of the speakers. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about was, as I said, the song, one specific song, Once in a Lifetime. This is probably the first song that I've heard from the Talking Heads before I realized who are the Talking Heads and what they meant or whatever. But after that, soon after that, after hearing that song, I've heard Psycho Killer, which I really liked, and some other songs that I liked as well. And just that song, that Once in a Lifetime, is considered to be a classic. And I could understand the lyrics, although I was 13 or 14 years old, because they're quite clearly spelled out, essentially. So I couldn't understand them. I mean, you know, it was, letting the days go by, and somebody wakes up someday and he says, "Oh, this is not my beautiful wife. This is not my beautiful car." It just didn't make sense to me. Didn't make sense to me at all. Didn't understand what was going on there, what the song was about. So I found it really silly, to be honest. And at some point, when I grew up and I grew over, listening to heavy metal music, I actually bought the record. Really enjoyed the record, but this song just kept bugging me because it didn't make sense for a band like the Talking Heads to have a hit, because it was a hit from what I know, because it's like, I was like 6 years old when it was this album came out, and to have a hit with that song when it just was so silly, and it doesn't represent the band. It's much more subversive, if you like, and the lyrics are not silly anyway. They do not have. They're much deeper than just something silly. Anyway, I cannot really explain it right now, but it's much more. I would expect much more from the Talking Heads, and that song kept on bugging me, to be honest. So anyway, fast forward a few years later, after the first time I heard it, after the first time I actually bought the record. A friend of mine had his brother who was older. My friend was the same age as me. He got divorced, and being new in the market, so to speak, he was with the same woman for 20 years or something like that, and they had children together and all that, and he was divorced and he was alone for the first time. And being with a person for 20 years, you just build a network of people around you that if you go out of it, then it's really hard to have friends, because your friends are her friends, and you want to go away from that, and you cannot really socialize with the same people. So he felt kind of alone, and my friend told me, take him out, show him out, see what he missed basically for the last 20 years or so. I said, fine, yeah. He was a cool guy. He used to be a goth back in the 80s, listened to The Cure and Bauhaus and whatnot. So, we had things in common. We always had music to discuss. So, it was cool. Anyway, yeah, we went out, and he being divorced recently. That's what he talked about, and he was talking about the divorce and how it happened and how he couldn't be with her anymore, and being with her for 20 years and suddenly realizing that, you know, it wasn't what he wanted in life. And he said, you know what, it's just like that song from the Talking Heads, Once in a Lifetime. It's like, this is not my beautiful wife, this is not my beautiful house. And that's it, it snapped. And I was like, yeah, that's what it means. That's the whole point of that song, is that becoming alienated with something, and over time, letting the days go by, you don't understand it, but over time it just erodes, you know, what you actually wanted, what you are perhaps. And you wake up one day and you're saying, this is not me, this is not my beautiful wife, this is not the person that I married, this is not the person I wanted. And you become fooled, you know, by things, and you just forget yourself, and you end up in this kind of situation. So that's my story, and you know, I understood what the song meant. And if there is a learning out of that, is that you should be true to yourself as much as you can, and maybe this will not happen to you. I guess that's the only thing. It's really hard to do, because obviously this is not something that, you know, happens overnight, and because of the time that it takes to actually happen, you might not notice it, and it's really hard to do. But try as much as you can. Try to be, you know, not only true to yourself, but also to not lose track of what you want, because it might happen. So it's a bit sad, I know, but that's it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my answer to that thread. I would like to thank Derek for giving me the opportunity to do that. And yeah, so see you soon. Cheers.